Hi, I'm Joe Paiva, and I'm with the members of the Cincinnati state team that's here in Washington, D.C. to participate in the 2024 student competition. So thank you for being here, and I'll start by asking, is there a person on this team that would be called the head honcho, the captain, the whip cracker, and so forth? Who is that?
That would definitely be Jen.
Oh my gosh, it's unanimous. So, how did this happen? Did she just draw the short straw, or was it natural selection, so to speak?
Well, I would say it was a little bit of everything. I was willing to step up and learn the metro and do the extra that I needed. And I've been in a lot of classes with most of these guys for a while, and they have deferred to me and all that. So it was just natural selection at this point.
So, tell me a little bit about how you prepared to do this. So, it's a competition. So, I'm assuming you don't walk in cold and just do it. So, when did you start preparing for this, and what kinds of things did you do to prepare?
We just started a couple of weeks ago. We did basic practices. We tried to use a compass and a fixed leg. We couldn't end up getting it to work, but we just did basically just getting used to everybody. Yes, we were in classes, but more in getting used to everybody in a competition setting and getting everybody's roles set out to know what each and every person is doing in this competition.
Now, most of the equipment you used, even the T2, probably they stopped using it before you guys were born, right? So it's quite a few generations back. So how did you get your hands on it, and who taught you how to use this stuff?
We learned a lot on Tuesday in the other room with Lisa. She's really good with all that older equipment, and then me and him came last year, so we kind of had a jump on that. It all relates, you know. We use some of the older equipment in the beginning of school as well, so you just get used to it and learn to adapt to it.
So traveling to Washington, D.C. is not the cheapest thing. So how did your travel and your stay here get paid for? Who's picking up the tab?
So the tab for the hotel rooms is getting picked up by Cincinnati State. And in terms of our travel, there was a little discussion about it, but we wound up all piling into an SUV. And it's a good thing that we all like each other, or else we may not have made it. But we got here totally fine. It was actually a very enjoyable drive.
And I noticed that in the competition, each phase also had a computational phase. So how did you prepare for that? And did you have designated people to do the computations for each exercise?
Yeah, we had Jen do most of the computations with him as well. And they're generally our math whizzes, and we had a lot of these classes ahead of time that have that math in them already. So we were fairly prepared for what was going on there.
How many of you have worked or are currently working in a surveying professional organization?
I believe everyone is working full-time in the surveying profession at all. We are full-time students and full-time employees.
So would anybody like to share a story about how they got into surveying? Because everybody seems to follow a different path. Anybody want to volunteer?
I can do it. So surveying is actually my second career. I was in aviation before and was looking for a change, but I still wanted to be outside. I came back to school originally for construction management, took a surveying class and loved it, and I have been in it ever since.
So thank you for sharing all that. I want to conclude by asking you about an important memory that you will take back, that maybe will stick with you for a little while. Was it the travel here in a closed space? Was it visiting Washington or surveying on the mall, meeting other students, the young surveyors and so forth? What is the most significant memory for you that you might remember? I realize you might have many, but what's your favorite?
My favorite, it was the monument hunt, just to get around the city and see it and see the history and all the stones. It was a great experience that I wouldn't trade it for anything.
I definitely agree with her with the monument hunt and networking with the other officials here.
I really like the networking and getting to meet new people that are interested in the same thing you do. And, you don't have a whole lot of people in this profession anymore. So it's nice to see a big group of them and you'll be able to just talk for days about it.
I have to agree. Seeing a lot of young people in the surveying profession for a change, it's a welcome change. But also being on the mall and seeing the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument itself, just all of this great American history, being right there in it, and knowing that a lot of the founding fathers are surveyors themselves, being there in their footsteps is really something that's special.
I loved all the vendors, them showing off all of their knowledge and equipment and everything else, and basically just putting on a show for all of us and just letting us know all what's going on with them and what's new in the field and everything else that's going on behind the scenes.
Well, thank you again, and I want to wish you all the best in your careers. Hopefully, this experience will be a significant part of your professional development. And finally, safe travels back.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.